Hello, everyone. Now, this year, to mark my 10 years as a published author, I'm rereading all my books. I'm not really changing them, and it just shows how many things have changed over the last 10 years. But I've just read a book that I wrote a long time ago called Jim's Fears, and it is really about how to support young people, particularly when they're struggling in school. And it suggests some actionable ways that we can support young people in school and how parents and carers can also support young people. And as I was reading, it struck me that actually some of the techniques apply just as well to adults. And I'm going to share some of those ideas with you today. The first one is the problem solving cycle. Basically, if you know that something's on your mind and you really just don't know what to do about it, the first thing to do is to just be clear, as clear as you can be, about what the problem is. Ideally, write it down. So you've written down, for example, Jim really doesn't enjoy maths. So his problem would be, I really hate going to maths. Okay. And the next thing you do is come up with as many solutions to your problem as you possibly can. And they don't have to be brilliant, just write them down, possible solutions. You can even ask other people for their opinion to see if you want to add some of their suggestions. And basically, look at the suggestions that you've got. And by writing down all these different ideas, it kind of frees up your brain and makes you feel a bit less stuck. And one of those ideas will almost certainly appeal to you more than the others. Give that one a try. Try it out. And then what you can do is you can go back, you can review it and see if it helped. In Jim's case, for example, it may well be that he doesn't like maths because he doesn't really understand how to do the activities. So his solution might be that he asks a teaching assistant that he trusts for some help. Now, he can try that out and see if it helps. If it doesn't help, you can go back to your list of possible solutions. You can even see if you can add on some more, maybe ask some more people their advice, write down the different ideas, choose another one and try it out. Eventually, one of your solutions is very likely to help a lot. So that is basically the problem solving cycle, because what you do each time, you identify the problem, whatever it is, list the possible solutions, see if anyone else has got any ideas of possible ways you can resolve your challenge, try out the one that appeals to you the most, and then review it. If it solves the problem, that's great. If not, you can go back to your list of solutions and try another one. And you can keep going round and round with that approach. And what it tends to do, it stops us freezing up. It actually enables us by writing down some possible solutions. It's kind of telling our brain, you know what, I've got this, I can sort it out. So definitely problem solving cycle is a great thing to teach children and young people, but also to try out for ourselves. Another strategy in Jim's Fears that actually I think applies to everybody is that we have all kinds of thoughts in our brain at any one time. If you timed the thoughts, if you wrote them all down, maybe for 3 minutes, you could say, right, I'm going to write down everything that pops into my head for 3 minutes. And when you write them all down, what you can do is you can look at each of the thoughts and decide which ones you regard as like quite positive, which ones kind of quite challenging or worrying, and which ones are quite neutral. And you'll probably find that actually most of them are reasonably neutral. And then what you can do, if there is a couple that are really on your mind, you can use the problem solving cycle to see if you can resolve them. But the other thing that you can do, which is really, I find really helps, is when you're kind of overthinking and you're getting stressed and all these thoughts are racing through your head, you can stop, focus on your environment and just see what you can hear for the next minute. As I'm speaking here, for example, I can hear an aeroplane flying overhead. And just by listening out for that minute, it can stop you worrying, stop you overthinking, and help you to focus on the present. If you have difficulty with hearing, you can do the same activity with any of your other senses. What can you see? You might even say how many things are green in the room. Oh, okay, that tablecloth is green, that mug is green, that plant is green. By focusing on things you can see or you can hear or you can touch, any of your senses can bring you into the present and really stop you worrying. Another thing that really helps is I like the image that if you can think of 2 or 3 things that whenever you think of them, it kind of makes you smile, then what you can do is you can actively decide to take a few moments out and focus on those 2 or 3 things until you're feeling calmer. For me, I picture being out on the cliffs on a sunny day, looking out at the sea, and you've got the sun and it's reflected in the water. And focusing on that environment really does help me feel happier and calmer. Also, every time I think about my cat George, he makes me smile, and that helps me to calm down. So you get the idea. Think of 2 or 3 things that always make you feel happy. Don't pick something that maybe makes you feel sad, but pick things that really make you feel happy. And you can almost have them as a sort of visualization toolbox. So when you're really feeling stressed and you can't really do much about it, you might be on the bus, you might be anywhere, and you might think, right, you know what? I'm just going to spend a few moments focusing on those things that make me feel happy. And actually, what you focus on grows. I like to picture it as you're planting these little seeds of happiness and you're watering them and you're watching the flowers grow. So those approaches are mentioned in Jim's Fears, but I thought I'd mention them now because actually they're things that can work for any of us. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's all part of me revisiting and rereading all the books that I've written. All my books are available on Amazon. So if you fancy reading the book Jim's Fears yourself, you can get hold of it via Amazon. Ideally via ebook because I get more royalties for that. And the paperback is more expensive because of all the package and postage. But obviously, some people like to have a paperback in their hands, and that's absolutely fine. I really hope you enjoy reading it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. See you later. Bye bye.